Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, July 6th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. We're having a time for change call tonight at 9 p.m. How do we free ourselves from survival mode? As Henry David Thoreau stated, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you've imagined. As many of us may know by now, we are the sole creator of our reality. No matter how the ego mind tries to trick you and make you believe that, oh no, that's not possible. Our thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and vibration determine what people, situations, events, experience, and things are magnetized to us. Everything that we attract and manifest stems first from the inside and then manifests in the outer world. This process is the engine and fuel for our soul's awakening and evolution in consciousness. To start liberating ourselves from survival mode, we must choose to realize that there are no coincidences or accidents in this universe. Every single thing that comes your way was created by you and meant for your awakening. Each person, event, and manifestation is here to awaken you, bring you closer to your divine mission, and install a greater awareness of the sacred, all-powerful being you truly are. So you might be asking yourself, if we're such powerful beings, why don't we always manifest the positive thoughts, things, and experiences that we want? The answer is that your soul chose to be raised in a society by a family, parents, friends, teachers, siblings, who were not very conscious. These beings were not self-realized masters who did not fully trust themselves and thus never knew what ultimately was for everyone's highest good and spiritual path. Being born in this universe and being born as an innocent child, you unknowingly adopted these unconscious, self-sabotaging behaviors and replicated their internal disconnected feeling from your soul's divine, infinite, trusting nature. This is how you became wrapped up in the habit of thinking about what you do not want and thus manifesting poverty, disease, terror, and struggle in your life. The more time you spent dwelling on thinking about or resisting what you did not want, the more you found yourself attracting it and perpetuating its existence. This cycle is the most common block in the manifesting playground. The soul decided to create this complex fear-based pattern of survival, which forced it to explore the deepest, darkest trenches of your being. It's good to know that there is nothing wrong with this setup. As eternal souls, we each choose to temporarily forget our all-powerful infinite nature just so that we could experience the joy of returning home to it. Yet with awareness of this divine setup, it now becomes your responsibility to bring the light into the darkness, the consciousness, into the unconsciousness, and awaken from this sleepy, old slumber. The pain and struggle you experience is only meant to wake you up. It is part of the divine plan to force you to realize you are a spiritual being in disguise. Without this prison, we wouldn't know freedom from it. Without sleep, we would never know awakening. And without darkness, we would not appreciate how beautiful, loving, and bright the light truly is. If we didn't believe that death was coming to get us one day, then life wouldn't appear to be so sweet, sensitive, and divinely precious. The ironic thing about all of this is that Once you step into the path of spiritual awakening, you don't need to continue living in survival mode. When you finally realize that you are an eternal being that cannot die, then there is nothing ever to fear again. You simply cannot set foot in fear when you are living this realization. The overlay of your physical existence is taken in as some great fantastic play, and nothing is taken too seriously. There is no desperate need to survival in this world because there is nobody who was born or could die. There is no desperate need to survive in this world because there is nobody who was born or could die. You realize that the soul that you are simply is ever present. The layers of your conditioning are many. And to truly transcend these survival patterns, it's vital that you understand its many levels and roots. The story may go something like this. From the day you were born, you instinctively knew how to breathe, eat, drink, poop, stay warm, and basically survive. These inherent survival instincts were basic desires you had, which were ingrained in your hardware, and were the most obvious actions you knew at birth. As you aged, the mind became emotionally programmed with others' thoughts of fear, grasping onto life, and the seriousness around surviving. Most likely, you were taught at a very early age about the great dangers of life. These include large moving vehicles, barking dogs, sharp knives, steep stairs, etc., which were all potentially life-threatening. This fear-based emotional environment attracted potential accidents and made every day successful if you didn't get injured or killed. As the newly programmed survival thinking matured in you, the threats began to change and translate into fears of losing love, money, health, job security, or social status. You discovered the world was filled with many people who struggled every day just to get by, and always scraped by or scraped by with the bare bones minimum creeping along in survival mode. Perhaps you saw people in small villages living in grass huts, very little food and water, or hung over on dirty sidewalks in large cities, homeless with a begging bowl and a please help sign, or perhaps newly divorced working long hours at several jobs with 5 kids, barely making enough money to make ends meet. Most likely, you were given the ideas and feelings to not want these types of situations. This newly programmed survival instinct was installed into your adult emotional software, and it motivated you to try to become a successful, prosperous citizen of society. As you were introduced to these new fearful don't wants later in life, your mind started replicating the old survival mode chemical cocktail in your brain. It created a long list of the things to do and experiences it must avoid, creating fearful feelings that would cause you to survive. The more you believed in and felt these people's emotional pain, internal challenge, eternal stuckness, and profound struggle to survive, the more intense became your living, breathing survival program. Each time your emotional body started to feel that one of those potentially fearful situations might manifest, such as being on the street if you didn't have the money to pay your rent, the synapses of the brain were flooded with adrenaline and motivated you from a fearful place to step into survival mode. In this modern day world, a certain level of fear-based survival instinct is necessary for us to remain alive. We would not be ready or reading or listening or hearing today if we didn't have the awareness to not step in front of a fast-moving bus. Yet the more we mature, the more we realize that there are many levels of survival consciousness. Some are healthy, while most of them are unhealthy for us. This fine line between healthy and unhealthy is defined by if we react with tremendous fear to a life situation that is not life-threatening, meaning if you're presented with a new life circumstance and respond with joy and creativity or panic and fear, all depends on how deep you are in the game of survival mode. Imagine that you end up losing your job, or you take a road trip by yourself cross country, or move to a smaller apartment, pay a bill late, or perhaps cannot leave your country for fear of what you may experience in a foreign land. In each of these unique situations, a fear may arise in you or a sensation of excitement and joy. Anytime that fear becomes your reaction, and it's far greater than the adventure and excitement of trusting life, then survival consciousness has taken over the front burner of your life, and joy is on the back burner. If there is a fear-based motivation to avoid life and not explore and transcend your limitations or don't wants, then you have a wonderful mountain to summit and conquer. If you cannot embrace that which you're avoiding, then letting go of survival consciousness can seem like a perpetual challenge that does not end. Even when our primary physical needs are already met, we may notice the mind continually obsesses about surviving. We may work hard and have enough to easily pay our bills, yet we may still feel like we can never do enough, be enough, or have enough to fully relax, rest deeply inside our being. There may be nothing we can do to stop trying to survive. The mind is always the culprit here and behaves a lot like a stubborn old mule who does not want to change its old rooted past. The truth, however, is that we are not our minds. We never were. We were always and will always be, ever, beyond, and forever, the commander in charge behind it all. We are always going to be the soul behind it all. No matter if we've been in survival mode for 100 years, we have still been evolving and growing in consciousness. We cannot stop the soul's evolutionary process. It is eternal. It just tends to seem to move at light speed when we realize one very important thing, that our bodies and minds are always deeply connected to an all-loving, intelligent, divinely magical, universal source that forever provides our every need and desire. Deep down, we may have known this all along, yet it may have been against our society's belief systems to believe in this irrational spiritual paradigm. Survival thinking is deep, and the only way you can discover discover true freedom from this survival addiction is to deepen your spiritual path. Saboteurs inside the mind can get you hooked on the entertainment of living in survival mode. It can be very exciting to barely just get by. Yet the spiritual aspect of your being has the power to transcend this pattern completely. By simply knowing deep in your heart that no matter what happens, you will always be okay, that your soul will survive forever. Long after the body is gone, you elevate your consciousness above survival thinking. Above survival thinking. How does that register? Above survival thinking. We talk about survival matter frequencies. It all goes back for us to understand that we're not the body. This is where things get mucked up, where we actually believe that we're the body, that we embrace all the body things, ego mind, the subconscious mind, all this stuff. And we live it. Someone, something is driving us. Literally, it's driving us. We're in the back seat. There's someone in the front driving us. Okay? And have you ever done that? You ever been in that situation where you go, and you want to know where we're going? Where are we going? Okay? And the driver of the body, right, says that ego mind, never mind. And then you say, well, I want to know. Well, never mind, it'll be fine. When this spiritual realization is alive in your heart and softens into your bones, it will allow you to find the truth of who you truly are. An eternal soul that was never born and can never die. The consistent daily realization of this understanding leads into the physical relaxation of the body and eventually the freedom from ever thinking there is someone to survive again. This deep experience of letting go takes you into the divine essence of your very being, which is the key to uplifting your consciousness and transcending the worst survival mode addiction. Deep down inside, our hearts they already know that an all-loving, infinite, intelligent universe is at our beck and call and will provide for our every need. We unconsciously know this, and how it provides for all of the animals throughout this world, and that it will take care of this human animal that you are too. When you are living every day in total spiritual awareness, you stop running so fast to win the rat race and begin understanding the biggest cosmic joke in the universe. The joke is that you are not a beggar, and not just an affluent king, but the God source itself. You are the creator. You are the divine initiator and ultimate manifester of everything that you could even need, want, or desire. Remember, you choose to fall asleep and dream that you were some beggar craving to find a few coins in the gutters of your life, when in reality, you are the owner of the castle on the hill, and beneath your property is the world's largest gold mine. Just because you've continued to temporarily forget your true sovereign self doesn't mean that it is not real. Your job is learning how to discover this gold mine is always beneath you and within you 24 hours a day. The real gold exists in knowing that you are this precious gold. You are this vast spiritual rich consciousness that never ends. It never dies. Who can manifest miracles faster than the blink of an eye. And yes, we were once long ago distracted by the impoverished consciousness of others, yet that was merely part of the fun. Now that we know the real truth, the wool cannot be completely folded over our eyes again. It can temporarily pass over, yet we can instantly shift our consciousness back into that which is real, that which never dies. And this awareness will unlock the greatest power to manifest anything we want in our outer world. With true spiritual awareness, Survival mode is a thing of the past. You now have the ability to consciously live free from fear and know that you can create whatever you want, anytime you want it. When you surrender to fully embracing your most basic spiritual essence inside, you can see that you already are that which you are seeking. As a spiritual being, we're never separate from anything. Only the mind made it appear to be separate. We already are conscious, manifesting beings, and this universe is literally our playground. So no matter what happens in the future, no matter how many times you forget, remember, and forget, and remember this information again and again, this awareness is eternally installed inside us all. We can deepen in this knowledge by simply living it as the truth every day from our hearts. Your job is to break free from society's unconscious laws and know that you are now a part of a group of the most powerful conscious manifesting beings in this universe who can attract any outcome that they want. Every moment from now on is an opportunity to truly relax deeper into this awareness with confidence. When you truly master your mind, you'll master this apparently material 3D world and be completely free from any fearful need to survive again. Please do not stop looking within. Keep on realizing that you are an infinite being. Take a good long look inside at who and what it is that is eternal today. This will blast you far beyond the game of survival mentality. You have nothing to lose. What is the biggest risk that a self-realized soul has in this world? None. There is no experience that can harm that which is already beyond this body and mind. Isn't it worth the risk to explore this? You are already untouched by the seemingly negative outcomes of any risk in front of the soul. Just trust you are this soul in your heart, and start taking more risks. As a self-realized soul, you have nothing to lose but the ego. And this is simply an illusion of the mind anyway. To be liberated from these old patterns, you'll need to take the risk of dropping your ego. There are actions you'll take and words you'll speak which will represent that you are taking the risk to go beyond it. You already know what you need to know, what you need to do, and which risks are worth taking this week, next week, that will make your heart sing. Don't hesitate. Do them all. The worst thing you can possibly do is procrastinate taking the risks, which are gifts you are presented with, and continue playing small. Otherwise, the world has to bow down to your feet and answer your every wish. Drill these thoughts deep into your mind. Your outer world is simply a reflection of the consciousness within. Every situation is a mirror reflecting back where you are on your spiritual path. The depth and breadth of your soul's presence is measured by the level of understanding you have of your true unlimited self. Once you've shifted your state of consciousness towards the continuous realization of who you are, you'll always be revealing how you are the conscious creator, creativity and creation of existence. With this understanding, the world has to hold you in the most exquisite cocoon of love, abundance, and connection to Source. You can dip down into the darkest trenches of suffering and pop back up to ascend into the highest vibration possible. From this divine understanding, you can only experience an entirely new level of joy, freedom, love, trust, abundance, energy, and prosperity in your life. And I'm going to share 3 super powerful affirmations and commitments to support you into fully embodying that powerful creator that you already are and will always be. First one, I am always loved, held, and provided for by this universe on every level. I am always loved, held, and provided for by this universe on every level. Always stop the mind immediately in its tracks whenever it gets fearful, worried, or concerned about surviving in this world. Repeat this mantra in your mind in its place and feel it seeping into your bones. I am always provided for by this universe on every level. The faster you catch the mind whenever it drops into a fearful survival mode, the easier it becomes to transcend the pattern. By focusing only on these feelings of being provided for, your abundance vibration will grow, and you only manifest this situation to you. And second, I bathe all day in feelings of gratitude. I bathe all day in feelings of gratitude. Whenever you start going into survival mode, refocus on gratitude, and you'll begin feeling more liberated to receive anything you want in your world. It is impossible to worry about surviving when you are in the healing energy of gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful and transformational energies on this planet. And yes, gratitude is that conscious vehicle that allows you to tap into your own abundance consciousness and creative energy. When you embrace gratitude as a way of being you naturally know the truth of your soul's path and mission, and that you are already deeply eternally loved with everything you need. From this place, you then become a massive magnet for attracting even more success, love, abundance, and divine beings into your life. And the third one, I have the firm realization that I am a powerful conscious creator. I have the firm realization that I am a powerful conscious creator. As you go through your days the next week, repeat to yourself one or all of these statements. I am a conscious and powerful creator in my world. I am always manifesting what I most desire. Everything is perfect in my world. Just keep chanting this mind-altering mantra deeply and slowly. Your mind, body will eventually become programmed with this truth. It may take a few days or weeks, depending on your ulterior beliefs, yet soon you will deeply know in your heart of hearts that you are consciously manifesting whatever you want in each moment. You are truly that powerful. So as you go through the next 7 days of your life, notice which thoughts and actions come from a place of fear-based survival and which come from trust, love, and abundance. Notice the most common thoughts you have in your normal day when and where you are plagued by survival thinking. For example, if your biggest fear is about your career, you may be viewing your career as a way of surviving instead of as an avenue for thriving and creatively expressing yourself in this line. You might catch yourself saying, I have to go to work today so that I can pay the mortgage. If you say this, refrain or reframe that thought by canceling it out in your mind, throw it into an incinerator, and replace it with the thought feeling, I get to use my mind and my creativity to consciously create more love, joy, and abundance in my life. Take out a piece of paper, write down all of the survival thoughts that you normally have, and write down the new affirmation next to it. You will be absolutely amazed at how much more life energy you feel inside by simply shifting your thinking patterns and creating more awareness around these old limiting mindsets. And before going to bed each night, spend a few minutes focusing on what you are grateful for in your life. This will help you access the most powerful manifesting energy inside you. Anytime during the day, let yourself be spontaneously grateful for how the universe, this universe, is deeply, eternally love you. You will be sending out a high vibrational energy that starts magnetizing even more abundance into your life and eliminates survival thinking from your consciousness. Whenever you are bathing in the energy of gratitude, you have full access to deeper knowingness that you are abundant, loved, and free. There is no way that the thoughts of surviving through life can exist. Excuse me. They all magically disappear. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we do is relax our body. This is something most don't do. Of course, there's a lot of people that try to do it synthetically, artificially. And that's short-lived. We all know that. The breath is the power and the magic. Our God source, the gods that we are, soul, higher self, heaven, whatever you label it, we enter these bodies, and in a way we power them up. We keep them operating through the God source. And so the breath comes online. And the breath, we take it for granted so much, is that when we use the breath, we can focus, strengthen, ease, and calm. And so when you focus on your breath, easy and slowly in through the nose and easy and slowly out through the mouth, you move into the now. And the body, the body's like this. It's like it's a super powerful magnetic kind of sponge, and it literally absorbs everything. We throw a lot at it, and we don't realize it. And we just, you remember times when you thought that, when you were a certain age, you thought that your body was, you didn't think about the body, right? You threw anything you wanted into it and did anything you really wanted because you never gave it a thought. Almost when we're a certain age, we think we're indestructible to a certain extent. And then as time goes by, we start changing our perspective on that. You start paying more attention to the body as it talks to you, lets you know things. And you don't respond in fear, because then the body will retract and tighten up more. So the breath obviously relaxes the body. Now, people store things, everything in the body. That doesn't mean that we know that. Oh, I'm going to store this here, I'm going to store it there. We just unconsciously do it. And when I was a massage therapist years ago, I learned that. Men and women store their tension, stress, fear, anxiety, worry, hatred, anger, revenge in the body. They store it. Shoulder, neck, head, your rear end, gluteus, your legs, your knees, your feet, your toes, your fingers, all of it, everywhere. It just depends. And see, as the body progresses, and so many years go by, and then some of us experience biological breakdowns. It's never correlated with the emotion, the storing of all this stuff in the body. So obviously, when you focus on your breath, it begins to melt off. It drops away. So keeping the body in a state, which is the natural state anyway of the body, state of relaxation. The state of relaxation. And then the stress and the fear starts to drain. Worry drains. And you become lighter, and the body is just kind of gets to a point where it floats. And the interesting thing about the breath is, and moving into the now, all the mind chatter that we have, each of us have this mind chatter 24/7. It's not there. And each of us put out over 60,000 thoughts a day, unconscious, and it's not like we know it. It's the universe. That's why Buddha has always said, master your thoughts. Know where they're going. Know what they are. Be consciously aware of your thoughts. Then we have tens of millions and billions of thoughts that fly by like clouds in the sky or float by like clouds in the sky. And the interesting thing about those is that 99.999% of them aren't ours. They're programs, say. So you look at all this stuff in the yesterday or tomorrow, right? And when you move into the now, they're all gone. See, subconscious mind, right? It's the great recorder. You and our baby body, the God that you are, right? And you've got amnesia. We all do. And then the baby body grows, and it experiences everything, hears everything. And not only directly related to you, but indirectly, all around you, everywhere. It's nonstop. So the unconscious mind, the subconscious mind, records all that stuff continually. Not only this lifetime, but all lifetime. Every time you enter a body, there it is. And the interesting thing about it plays it back randomly. Not in any real sequence either. Just plays it back. And this is why some of us, or not all of us at times, you'll be doing something, going somewhere, whatever, and you get this feeling. And the feeling is, I know I've done this before, been here before. This similar surroundings, similar timing, everything. I've been here before. And you have. And the subconscious mind is playing back the recording. So, and that's when you get that feeling. So that you can see where the now is paramount for any of us, all of us, is to practice focusing on being in the now. Remember, 2% of our time is spent in the now. 98% is spent in the material physical world. There's something wrong with that equation, isn't there? That's why there's so much suffering, disappointment, anger, hatred, greed, revenge. That's why it's out there. Wouldn't it be nice to see that shift? 98% of our time is in the now and 2% in the material physical world. Huge difference. Huge, huge. But it's a choice for each of us. You see, the ego mind, it doesn't want you to be in the now, period, because it doesn't exist in the now. She tries to do everything it can. The ego mind, the mind ego, right? Both illusions. But it tries to figure out a way to get you out of the now. Okay? And it works most of the time. Okay? We practicing being gentle, kind, generous, and humble with oneself at all times. Practicing being in the highest of the highest, high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest. Eternal gratitude. At all times. Now, you can practice this, and it gets to the point where it's automatic. You move into it. If you're having a rough time or something's happening with you or outside of you, and you immediately snap into what you're grateful for. And watch what happens. Being in a conscious state of attitude of gratitude is imperative for us for our transcendence, our ascending, higher frequencies. It moves you out of the pain and suffering role in this life. Okay? So, when you find yourself floating off, because we all float off, you're focused on something, you're doing something, and you wander. We all wander. And we grab on one of those clouds and we just kind of float off somewhere. Do we do it on purpose? No. Not a bad thing, but we do it. And then, knowing, we say to ourselves, not a biggie. I'll focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. And you will every single time, 3,000% of the time. Now, we all have the propensity, right, to be drawn into the past, yesterday, or the future tomorrow. Now, the ego mind wants it that way because that's where it exists. Past, future, future, past, yesterday, tomorrow. And that's where most of us usually are. And that's why we suffer. You picture yourself, we're all gathered, right? We're all one, and we're standing in front of three paths. And we see the paths, and we're in the center one, the now, right? And we see that the trees have created a golden canopy over each path. Leaves, bark, branches, all shimmering gold. And the path itself is a brilliant emerald green flaming grass. Appears to be grass. Now we look to the left and we see the past path. We look to the right and we see the future path. Yesterday and tomorrow. We also notice that the past path is like it's been used. It's really been used. Same with the one on the right, the future path. Been used a lot. But the now that we're all on looks almost brand new. And we know why that is. We know that the ego mind continually plays the game of keeping us out of the now. Because it knows it doesn't exist in that. It has no power in the now. all of us have a great hall, right? It's where everything's stored. Remember, subconscious mind, recording, lifetime, is stored. But everything's stored there. Present, now, life, past life, and possibly future lives. So we reminisce. We have memories. We visit them on occasion. We kind of replay them. And we, how fun they were, how exciting it was. It was really great. I could do that again. And then we also visit things that teach us that we did something right and it didn't work. And so we say to ourselves, well, maybe I'll do it this way to see if it works. And do it a different way. And so it's a great resource library. It's massive. Each of us have one. So we'll go in there. We'll open the door, turn on the light, right? And when you walk into a room, most people don't pay attention to it, but you glance at the ceiling and the walls, like in a flash. And so when you walk into the Great Hall, you look and you don't see any ceilings or walls because it's so vast. Nonetheless, you go to the drawers and the shelves, and you pick out some movies and some books and some pictures. You sit in an easy chair, and there's this big rectangular white. It's just sitting there, white rectangle, floating. And so you'll watch the movies, read some of the books, look at some of the pictures, and you reminisce. You have a good time. But you won't stay there, and you'll put everything back in its proper place. You turn off the light, you shut the door, you move forward in life. And on occasion, you'll revisit it. But some of us will stay there so darn long, unconsciously, that they end up taking that past, bringing it into a future that doesn't exist, create that future from that past, relive that past in that future. That's why a lot of people will say, no matter what we do, we always end up here. Because remember, the past is dead. They're old memories, old happenings, old habits that you reference to make some comparisons. You reference to make some comparisons. That's it. Now, we all get poked, pushed, hurried, enticed, seduced, however you want to look at it, into the future. The ego mind pokes and prods and pushes you, get in a hurry. You got to find out things. There's things you want to know. And in the moment, you don't know. You just don't have any idea. So there are all kinds of external authorities that we seek out. You have astrologers, you have numerologists, you have card readers, you have palm readers, tea leaf readers, pendulum readers, crystal readers, psychics, clairvoyants. And they'll give you a reading, a projection. And usually it's about money. Right? Money, relationships, health. Not always in that order. But, usually, when am I going to have enough money to enjoy my life? Right? So the reader gives a response. And you usually get three, you're going to receive out of the clear blue a whole bunch of money. And I have no idea the source of it, but it's going to be here. So you get different responses. You get the first person, listens to it, just kind of throws out the window and doesn't give it any kind of confidence or trust. He just thinks it's a joke and I did this for fun. It's not a big deal. Boom, done. You get the one in the middle, and then that one says, really, really embraces it, gets super enthused, and writes it down in the calendar and starts counting the hours. Countdown, right? And they start forming attachments, expectations to the outcome of it, right? Then the third one listens and says, this is great. Because they have total trust in themselves, right? And in the universe. So they know that immediately it's manifested. It's coming into realization, reality. So they clarify it with the universe and make sure everything is in detail, and they leave it alone because they know it'll be. They don't know when. The reader said, in about a week, right? But they're not sure when in that week. So they don't put attachment to the outcome of it, and they don't have expectations. See, when you have expectations, it's when you kick the abundance away that's rightfully coming to you, for you. So it's like I'm expecting this to happen this week. When you say that, right, I'm expecting this to happen this week. So therefore, I expect I will have this to do this. It won't happen. 99.9999% of the time, it won't happen. So what happens? You get disappointed, frustrated, sometimes irritated. But when you just let it flow, don't obstruct it, don't get in your way, don't get in the way of the universe and the flow of abundance, it will be. Now, we have parts of ourselves, the gods that we are in these bodies, everywhere. See, the pure consciousness, the God, doesn't enter just humanoid forms. It enters every kind of form to experience. So we're all one, and all of us experiencing different levels of physical life. Across the galaxy, across this universe, across trillions of other universes. Remember, there's no separation. That's the illusion. It makes us believe that we are separate, right? And different. But we're looking at the body and not the God within, say. Now, we have some parts of ourselves, gods that we are, that are stone cold asleep. They're not going to, you could throw them in a tub of ice water, slap them for minutes, and they're not going to wake up. We deeply love them as much as we love the parts of ourselves, the gods that we are, that are awake. Consciously aware to a certain extent. Consciously aware means that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. So it's everything and nothing. And it's being able to embrace that and understand it. You got the off-worlders, galactics, the celestials. You've got Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian, just to name a few. And yeah, they have bodies. They look different in some ways. But the God within them is no different than the God within us. Same with the fairies, sprites, elves, gnomes, dwarves, trees, trolls, elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, Pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. Yeah, those are different bodies, right? The God within them is no different than the God within us, and it's all one. Experiencing different levels of physical life. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, beneath earth, the light spectrum, light energy beings. It's infinity and beyond. And it is a choice that each of us make to understand that. Turn the switch to 98% in the now and 2% in the material physical world. Now, we're focused on this planet. The gods that we are in these bodies. There's hundreds of millions of us. I mean, the numbers are endless. You got one gigaplex. One gigaplex fills this universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. There's your trillions of universes. They're all, it's sequential, it's connected. It's endless. In all the physical forms that God is inhabiting, the God, the higher self, the spirit, the soul, all the parts of the God, inhabiting, experiencing. So when we look at this planet, how many parts of the God are looking at this planet? You think quite a lot, right? For instance, eventually, each of us in our own way will discover that you can literally travel anywhere in existence and beyond in a blink of the eye because you're there. You're there. The part of the God in you is there. See? It's everywhere. You can be anywhere and anywhere, nowhere. Just hasn't gotten to that level yet. So the gods in these bodies, we decide that this planet's going to be liberated. That's what's going on. That's it. We say, this lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, these pure evil, the souls that have absorbed too much darkness. Let's cleanse the planet with our pure, deep, eternal love. Right? And that's what we're doing. And so we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. So we form a massive white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This emanates from the gods that we are in these bodies. This pure, deep, eternal love. It's flooding, saturating, and permeating this planet and all life, the highest supreme values in the universe. There's no escape from it. It just keeps intensifying, expanding, growing, and strengthening. Now we ascend, we begin to move up. Okay? Vibrational frequencies continue to increase. And then we come into contact with this, it is a massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. It's not like the glitter that you would depict on this planet. But we try to describe it. So we'll take a grand finale fireworks display. Everything going off at once, sparkling in the sky, and different colors. And then we take like a laser light show, grand finale. And then, the ballroom globe, the faceted mirror globe, and you shine light on it and flood the room with light. And we combine all that together, in one massive crescendo, and this burst of just clear, sparkling, unlike anything you've ever seen, light, multicolored. And that's about as near as we can get to the description of the ocean of glitter. Now, the mirrors are everywhere. They reflect the little sparkles, right? And we notice these little microscopic, perfectly etched mirrors, and we enter them. And then we discover that all of us, no matter what physical form we're inhabiting, are teaching each other. We're always learning. One specific event may only be directed to you at a particular time for you to acknowledge and learn from something. It could be small, minuscule, but very impactful. Could be much bigger. And it comes in any form. See, if you're in the physical material world 98% of the time, you're going to miss it. If you're in the now, right, the journey within, 98% of the time, you're going to see it. Because you get all kinds of insects and animals and people and beings that come and cross your path that on purpose. Nothing is random. Everything that you encounter is exclusively designed through the universe for you. It isn't even contestable, period. It has been proven over and over again. It's anything and everything. That's why, when you're in the material physical world, then a lot of people say the life is boring and they're off somewhere. And it can get that way in the material physical world, but not in the now. The journey within. So we create light, firelight, the gods that we are in these bodies, energy, in different forms. And we're met with the omnipotently powerful emerald green flaming healing light through Archangel Raphael. And what does this do? It reminds us, the gods that we are in these bodies, that we are the power of healing these bodies. And then we have Archangel Michael carrying a violet, blue, purple, flaming light. And this reminds us, the gods who are in the body, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Pretty much goes hand in hand. It's pretty synergistic. And then we have the white fire. Light, right? And we created this to remind us all that we are protected 24/7, infinity and beyond. As long as we maintain the vibrational frequency of pure, deep, eternal love. That's it. It's not difficult to understand that. Now, the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, pure evil, they can't hold their form around at that frequency. They either vaporize or they leave. They have to stay out of the way, far away. So there's no demon possession. There's no attachments. None of that stuff takes place. But only you have the power that if you do lower you do decide to lower your vibrational frequency, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, greed, anger, revenge, worry, stress, fear, anxiety, hurriedness, manipulation, dishonesty, you'll create a breach in your white fire armor, allowing all the Lord dark matter, survival matter frequencies come flooding in. Then there's possibilities of demon possession, attachment, and a bunch of other stuff. See, you do decide to do this. We have fail-safes. We always, the gods that we're always creating. So we create this double column of light. The first part of the column is purple transmuting flame. This reminds us to bring in the purple transmuting flame. Transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutralized substance. Send them to pure consciousness where they're no more. Second part of the column is the violet ray. We created this part of the column to remind us we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. Cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were. Sealing the breach in our white fire and our white fire armor. Restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal love, gratitude, and peace. Then we're met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light, of fire light, that the gods that we are in these bodies created to remind us all, the gods that we are the sun, the sunlight, the rain and the rainbows, the sun sets and the sun rises, oceans, rivers, lakes, streams, trees, forests, soils, animals, skies and the clouds in the skies. We're everything. Everything is us. Always has been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. But those of us that are 98%, roughly, in the material physical world, we will look at something and say, isn't that beautiful? And that's true because it's the gods that we are in these bodies. So it is beautiful. It is fantastic, stupendous, marvelous, magna-glorious. Those of us who are 98% in the now will look at the same thing and say, that, and through the heart-mind, that is the God that I am. That is the God that I am. So we continue to ascend, and some of us step outside our physical form. We're carrying physical form, those of us that are, and hover effortlessly above it. And we do this because we can, and it's absolutely a ball doing. It's fun. We come into contact with a massive crystalline light tower. The gods that we are in these bodies created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column, we notice a massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is a golden white ball of light. It in turn is surrounded by numerous rings of light, multicolored, that seem to go to infinity and beyond. This creates a super bright white, reflecting, sparkling, bursting light that is absorbed through our heart minds, and it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. We also discovered that the golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And we discover again that all of this, all of that, is a reflection of the gods that we are in these bodies. Now, at the top of the tower, we designed it so that the golden ocean, the gods that we are, designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, saturating, permeating, flooding this planet, on it, in it, above and below it, infinity and beyond. And the golden ocean is pure, deep, eternal love. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. We are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We then see our meditative sphere. We, the gods in these bodies, created this sphere over 4 years ago. It's moving towards 1,900 meditations in perpetual motion. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world, in the now, consciously aware, intent of pure, deep, eternal love. Through all these meditations, every day for over 4 years, 7 days a week. It's massively powerful. It can't be redirected. It can't be stopped. It can't be weakened. None of that. It's full steam ahead. That's why this meditative sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And the meditations just keep intensifying, growing, and strengthening. Now, you want to see what's transpiring through the heart-mind in the now. You can float and be a watcher, because we, the gods in these bodies, created a field, a golden pink light field. It's shimmering. You can walk through it, right? You see through it, but you can see the golden light pink light. Now, on the surface, everywhere, in and on and above and below it, you see this super black goop, right? And it's the pure evil, lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, souls that have taken in too much darkness. And it looks like it's being vacuumed off the planet, everywhere you look. And you can see as it disintegrates, it vaporizes, going through this field. And the sky, the gods that we are in these bodies created, is golden white pink light. You can't look at it with the eyes in these bodies, because if you do, it will eliminate your ability to see. Any of this dark matter, and it gets to the sky, so to speak, it is vaporized completely in a flash. There isn't even any quark left. It's all gone permanently. This is what's happening. You can feel it through your heart mind. You can watch it anytime you choose. period. Imagine the most exotic, heavenly, healing home of your dream. Design it in your mind in great detail. Picture the layout of the land, the size of the home, the structure, interior, and decorations. Perhaps you have an outdoor pool, sauna, hot tub, personal massage parlor. This is your fantasy home, so make it the most exotic version you can fathom. Now, imagine your dream home is inside your heart. Actually visualize it there and see yourself in it, feeling safe and secure here. Know that you can leave or return to this palace at any time. Merge with the energy you feel in your heart center and relax into it. Rest and receive any awesome healing energy that comforts you. This space is absolutely extraordinary. An indescribable abundance and joy exists here that will spread all throughout your life. Abide in your heart's inner fantasy, sanctuary today, and carry it inside you wherever you go. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy, slow breath in through the nose and an easy, slow breath out of the mouth. And be still. Life is best viewed as a great creative project, a grand creative project. The body, this mind, this moment of your life is the greatest opportunity to experience being a designer within existence, so that you may discover the divine presence you really are. The images you project onto this universe always becomes your reality, whether they are powerful, warm, sunny, and optimistic, or cold, dark, depressing, and frustrating. You are the grand designer, and the moment is a result, this very moment is a result of your creativity or lack of it. So for today, give yourself several hours to relax and express yourself fully through some creative venue. Pick up a paintbrush, a pencil, paper, find a block of clay, write something inspiring on your computer, or have an intimate, revealing conversation with a total stranger or friend. Just do something extra creative today that you enjoy, and let yourself disappear in the creation of it. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and following morning. And we will return here tonight at 9 p.m. for our Time for Change call, and Thursday, July 7th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.